I want to talk about a very important issue concerning Minnesotans and the Environment Natural Resources Trust Fund. Now, this is a portion of lottery ticket sales that goes to the environment. That's what Minnesotans voted on. It's up for a vote again this year, and there's a lot of confusion about it. We're hoping to have more people to come on in the next couple of weeks to discuss what is happening. Now, it's a yes or no vote on the ballot. You should pull up what the messaging is on the ballot, Dan, if you can.
That I've got. Okay. Yeah, here it is right here. You want me to read it?
Sure, go ahead.
I can read. Shall the Minnesota, let me start this over. Shall the Minnesota Constitution be amended to protect drinking water sources and the water quality of lakes, rivers, and streams, conserve wildlife habitat and natural areas, improve air quality, and expand access to parks and trails by extending the transfer of proceeds from the state-operated lottery to the Environment and Natural Resources Trust Fund, and to dedicate the proceeds for these purposes? Yes or no?
So this money has funded all sorts of projects regarding, the fishing in Minnesota, hunting in Minnesota, cleaning up the environment. Our show, Prairie Sportsman, is funded by the Environment Natural Resources Trust Fund. How that money gets spent is up to LCCMR, the Legislative Citizen Commission on Minnesota Resources. It's made up of citizens. It's made up of legislators, and they go through a rigorous proposal process, and every 2 years they award, I believe it's 5.5% of
Yes.
that fund to these various projects. If you want that to continue, vote yes. The issue has been that now there's been some confusion because I guess there's some another committee that they're going to form to try to take another 1.5% of those proceeds for some different projects. Now, I don't know a lot about that. I just heard about it. I think Dan and we heard about it when we were in Saskatchewan. So we're working on trying to clear up all the confusion. But the way we understand it is if you don't vote, or if you vote no, the money that was going to LCCMR and the Environment Natural Resources Trust Fund goes to the general fund. I believe that's the way it is. And Minfish has put out a message about it. And then also Ducks Unlimited in Minnesota put out a message about it. So you can look into those resources to learn a little bit more about it as well.
And please read those messages. They're urging a yes vote. But also read the bill for itself. You know, it's confusing language, I know. I've had to reread it many times, but don't just read what somebody's posting on social media, especially if they're just copying and pasting a portion of this bill. I urge you to go to
some research.
The House website, read the entire thing, try to understand it, but ask the right questions. But don't just see a Facebook post, please, and come to a conclusion.
So Minfish put this in their messaging. Since its inception, the fund has invested more than $1 billion in roughly 1,600 projects designed to protect and conserve the state's air, water, wildlife habitat, and other resources. This year's allotment was more than $103 million going to the Minnesota environment through various projects. So let's continue the Environment and Natural Resources Trust Fund.